Hi, I'm Dave Wurzel, and you're watching PHTV4 Spotlight. Today's Spotlight is on the band at Stagg High School in Palos Hills. With me on my right, and it'd be too limited to say just band director, because there's a lot more. I'm going to let you add on to that in a second. Bob McCosey, and on my left, Samantha, who is a musician in the band, but you do a lot of other things too, and so we're going to take a look at that. Bob, first, can you tell us, how long have you been a band director, and what does that actually mean? Because you're a director of quite a bit, and what do you teach here? And if it's not music, I'll be shocked, but go ahead.
Sure. Well, Dave, it's good to see you again. We've done a few of these, and but yeah, thanks for coming and making the time to do this. So I started here in 2008. This is my 17th year at Stagg, and so part of my responsibilities are 3 different bands that meet during the school day, 2 percussion ensembles, and then a series of after-school groups as well, like marching band and jazz band, both of which Sam is in, along with a pep band and then a pit orchestra for our spring musical, which this year is Shrek, shameless plug, first weekend in May, had to mention that. So that keeps me busy sort of throughout the year. But as busy as I am, it's the students that are busier, and I don't really get to do those things without their input and their involvement and their work ethic, because they also have a full slate of classes that they take during the day, and then they're doing all these things outside of it as well.
No, that's an excellent point. I mean, it is amazing, that commitment level, when you think about all the things they have going on. But I got to tell you, when I'm listening to all that you do, I mean, do you go to bed with music playing in your head, or what score are we going to do here, or how our practice schedule? I mean,
well, I have 2 young daughters at home. I have one that's 8, one that's 4. So a lot of the music we hear at the house is not the music I'm hearing here. So it's kind of a nice reprieve, just to have that separation there. So when I'm home, I'm not really listening to. It's very much kind of keep it separate. So
right. You do get to walk away a little bit.
I do get, yes, absolutely. So
okay, Sam, how about you? What instrument do you play, or instruments maybe?
My primary instrument is clarinet, and then I also play alto saxophone and jazz band, and then I'm a drum major of our marching band.
All right, so you're giving Mr. McCosey a run for his money here in terms of all the things that you do, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's awesome here. I want to ask if you could so you ran down that list of things that you do, and I know, we think of marching bands performing at halftime shows or pep bands at basketball games. You have your own competitive season. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of give us a run through of all the things that band members are involved in, and you talk about your competitive season as well?
So marching is the competitive program that we have here. Our jazz, and that doesn't really compete, but marching does. And so over the course of several Saturdays in September and October, there are shows, one of which we host. Shameless plug, September 6, 2025. I can't help it. One that we host for other bands in the area. And so no one's doing the same music, or what we call drill, which is the movement on the field, but they're getting scored in different categories, like how well they're playing that music from a group standpoint, individually, how it looks, how it all gets kind of put together. So those are the types of competitions we go to. We usually end our competitive season for marching band in the middle of October, either at Illinois State or U of I. This year we actually did both of them because they were 2 different weeks. We'll probably do the same thing in the fall of 2025, because really that's something that the students have shown that they really want, that this matters to them. That's sort of the culmination of their season and what they really strive to work for. So it's really, we're doing it for them, and that's what our season really leads to. But it's really the only competitive thing we do. Jazz is very non-competitive. We really focus on a lot of community performances. Like this past year we've done Palos Hills Community Center. We performed for Palos Heights. We've done stuff for Peace Village. We just finished a jazz festival at New Trier, which is very non-competitive. There's no scores. It's just about getting feedback and learning to play that style a little better. Our Wind Symphony does community performances as well, but not for specific scores or ratings or anything like that. So marching is the one sort of competitive program we have. Everything else is more about the non-competitive, just educational feedback.
So it must be nice to take a break from the competitive part, which I'm sure is fun too, but to go out and perform just to perform because it's a fun or a good thing to do, right?
Yeah, but even with the competitive part, we really make it a point to tell the students you're really just competing against yourself at the end of the day. So our motto, and has been for years, is be your best. And so for our sake, is your previous show the best one you've done, and can you make it that much better for the next one? So the goal is the very last time you perform it, that's the best one you've done. No matter how you place compared to other schools, because you really don't have control over what other schools happen to sign up for that show on that given day. So it's really you against you. And when you think of it that way, it keeps everything much more in perspective.
Yeah, it allows it for them to still enjoy it and have fun.
100%. Staff as well.
I'm sure. So I put you on the spot. Of all those types of performances that you do or you've been part of, do you have some favorites, or when you look back, that was a great show, or that one was a lot of fun, or that performance to do was really tops for you?
Yes, I have a lot. I think like my freshman year marching show, Beyond the Machine, was my favorite marching show out of what we've done. And then
What did you like about that?
I liked because it was all new to me, and it was right after COVID, and I just think everything was super exciting, and we are all building community, and I don't know, it was just like really happy and not stressful, and we're just coming back together, and yes. And then I also liked when we went to the Chicago Symphony Center downtown last year, part of a grant we got. I don't know much information about behind it, but yeah, that was great because I got to perform one of my favorite pieces, Blue Shades by Frank Kelly, and I was the clarinet soloist from that, and it was just remarkable, and yes.
Wow, I mean, that sounds like a great experience, especially downtown like that. Let's turn away from band for just a second. How about what's your favorite subject in school? And if you say math, if you say anything other than music, I might end up passing out here. Go ahead.
Yes, my favorite subject in school is band, and maybe English.
Excellent answer. Good fallback answer as a former English teacher. How about, do you do any other clubs? It almost doesn't seem possible. Do you do other activities or sports at Stagg?
I do. I kind of lessened my schedule this year, but in the past I did swim, water polo. I was a part of HOSA for a year, drama, choir things, probably other things. I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think this is what you're talking about, right? You think about your commitment, you think about their commitment, what they do on top of school and all the other activities. You're a senior, right, Sam? How about, do you have, or enjoy the next few months of high school still, but do you have plans after high school? Do you have a picture of what's going on next?
Yes. Well, currently I think that I'm going to go into music education, and well, I've gone back and forth where I think I've wanted to do music education and become a band director and things, and then I was like, wait, I kind of want to be an audiologist, so that's where I applied to schools as well as clarinet performance, so I can, teach clarinet lessons on the side and do audiology and connect music and hearing in some sort of way. But now I think I want to just go back to music ed because I'm more passionate about it. It makes me cry of relief every time. I'm like, why am I pushing myself to think about other things when this is what I'm called to do? So.
Say that's a lot going on. I feel for you. That is tough trying to make that decision. But no matter what, it sounds like music is still in the future for you. And obviously, you must have some great mentors out there to kind of inspire you in that direction. Congratulations, a future.
Well, and she said great middle school instructors, a great private lesson teacher, and one of the things that myself, and I know you'll talk to our choir director, Chris Betts, later on, we firmly believe is like we're there at the high school, which is just one step of their journey, but a lot of people had to get them there, whether it was parents continuing to encourage them to play the instrument at home. So we're the beneficiaries of that, and we take that, we don't take that lightly. So.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent point. It's not a vacuum. There's a whole life here and a whole path towards it, right? All right, this actually tends to be one of my favorite. Well, I have a few favorite questions. Here they come, right? How about your favorite song to perform?
In pep band, I would say Walk This Way. I don't know why. I usually, well, when I would play in pep band, I would play alto sax sometimes, and I feel like the alto part is so fun. And then for marching band in general, I think Crazy Train because the percussion goes crazy and everybody's super fun and happy.
Those sound like fun songs. I'm big Aerosmith. I love it. How about for you? A favorite song to maybe direct, would you say? Do you want to go that way?
Well, she mentioned one that they did, so I'll kind of expand on that one. It's a song called Blue Shades by Frank Kelly, and so it's a special place in my heart because of a chance I got to perform that when I was in high school and then getting a chance to conduct a high school group with it. And so what she was talking about was last March, our school, along with Andrew and Sandberg, each of our wind symphonies got to perform a concert at Symphony Center in Chicago, which was made possible because of the district's foundation, the D230 Foundation. We received a grant to have that special type of performance. And so we've gotten a grant from them for several years. This year we have one to perform in Wheaton. And it's always a special thing, but to perform on that stage and to just be, and have the students experience that and be able to look at them and just see and them take that all in, knowing the very next night the Chicago Symphony is playing a concert that night was a really cool thing. So that will always hold a special place in my heart. And then even the musicals we do here, to be able to take these productions that are touring nationally and have a high school group do them and be able to sit and conduct the pit orchestra for that, like a show like we're doing Shrek this year, but a show like Les Mis or Legally Blonde, which is a much more difficult show than people realize. Take a lot of pride in doing that, especially when it's done. It's you're tired when it's done, but it's very much worth it.
I would say it sounds like a tremendously, not just rewarding, but to have the experience of playing that. All right, so here's the best though, the fantasy for me, maybe not for you. The fantasy question: you've been asked to perform, or you've been asked to direct. Somehow, Super Bowl or some other major entertainment, athletic event, whatever it is, they need you to provide the entertainment for it or the halftime show. And they've given you complete license. Anything you want to perform, anything you want to design. Samantha, you want to go first? What show would you take on the road?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think just like a side note, I don't really care what I play, but I would love the experience to be a part of like a group with lots of members and lots of sound and play like a really good ballad and a like powerful like soul shattering piece that just like is like raw, like DCI vibes. So that'd be like awesome. But I do want to give a shout out to Mr. Johnson for this idea called Barbenheimer, Barbie and Oppenheimer, that had whole trend thing, and he had the idea to like start it off like we're like doing Barbie girl, and then and then the whole thing explodes. I don't know his whole plan, but he's got a plan, and it's really good, and yeah.
All right, let's copyright the idea right here, right now.
We'll get right on that.
That's off the rails. I like it. I mean, that's outside the box. Very clever and brilliant. All right, Director Mikosi, how about you? What would you direct or perform? Money's not an issue.
Don't get me wrong, I think the halftime shows the past couple of years have been fantastic, but if I were planning like the Super Bowl halftime show, I think I'd try to pare it back to what it was when the Super Bowl originally started, because I'm partial to college marching bands, marched in one and for 4 years. So in the earliest days of the Super Bowl, that's what the halftime show was. So I would do something like that. Although I think I'd have someone like a special guest. I'm thinking like a Stevie Wonder, because we're kind of in the midst of that like 50-year anniversary of his stretch of just incredible albums. Just bring him back and just let him go on for 15 or 20 minutes and just let everybody just bask in that for a little bit. So I'd kind of keep it a little more, I think, low key in a sense. So
No, I like it. You're pulling in the history of it, and also, but bringing in the superstar performance.
And I did like about this year's show, given that the game was in New Orleans, having so much of that music and that style and culture represented. I think there's something to be said. So, if it ever comes to fruition that Chicago hosts the Super Bowl, I would suspect that there'd be some type of Chicago element that would go into that. So there's something that's representing the city that's hosting the game, very much in a microcosm of what an Olympic host city does for their opening or closing ceremony.
All right, well, I hope somehow, some way, in some partial fantasy world, you get the opportunity.
The next side hustle, right? That's an upcoming project, so yeah.
Okay. Final question for both of you. What do you like best about being part of band or directing band? Samantha?
I'd say the community. It is a second home for me. I feel the most safe in my most authentic self at bands, and it's just wonderful. I mean, I love music and things, but like the people are just great.
I don't know if you can. What a beautiful tribute. A community, a safe place where people can be themselves, and even better than the music and band. I mean, yeah, that's. Go ahead.
She said it perfectly, and I think too. I feel really fortunate. I know Mr. Betts, the choir director, feels the same way. We see students through a 4-year time frame. It's not just 1 year, one semester, then they go on their way. From freshman through senior year, so you see them develop as people. You build those like really positive connections, and people like Sam and the other 100-some plus kids that are in band, they make that community. And so, I'll be honest. There's days where I'm having a rough day, and they make my day better because of the energy that they bring to the classroom. And so it means the world to be able to share that space with them. So really the music is only a part of it. So we're human beings learning about things, life skills, and all the things that go with being in an ensemble. So the music is just sort of a byproduct of that.
Yeah, what a great description, and what a fortunate blessing, you're right, to be able to have that environment, that experience. Congratulations, I'm happy for you guys. It sounds like a lot of great things are going on for you. So thank you for coming in this morning.
Thanks
I wish
for
you the
having us.
best.
Yeah,
good luck
absolutely.
with the future shows. Sam, good luck with you as well. I'm Dave Wurzel. You've been watching PHTV4 Spotlight. Today's Spotlight has been on the band at Stagg High School. We've been talking with director Bob McCosey and band member Samantha. Thank you for watching.